put a little bit of, mixed up a little bit of sienna with some yellow and some blue and red, just for a little variation in my roof. It could be shingles, it could be slate. It doesn't really look thatched, but I'll drop a little water in there. It's getting a little, I don't want to necessarily make those shingle lines, but I'd like to put a little contrast. I drew them in, and I might touch them up with some ink, but right now I don't want them to. See, this side got a little monochromatic. Lift some of that out of there. That's where my clean out or tissue with no lotion comes in. Okay, I think I'll put a little in this window frame. This is kind of up under the eave. That first layer was a little pale. Might add a little bit of yellow to that. That is a really intense yellow I have on that palette. It's probably cad yellow. Put maybe a little drop or two in some of these stones that are down here. Maybe a little on the door. To indicate a little brightness. If you're a little bit afraid of messing up your watercolors, you need to kind of loosen up a little bit and kind of just go with it. Watercolor paper is fairly cheap. You can buy a pad at Walmart that is like $11. That is really pretty good watercolor paper, at least to practice on. I got that little bit on my eave there. Now I'm going to do some shadows under the eave. Now remember too that wherever you have water, the paint's going to go. So if you've got wet paint over here and it's going into a place that you don't want it, then you need to lift that out of there and go to a different location so that you aren't painting next to wet paint. I have a little line, the eave soffit or fascia, whatever there is, keeping me away from the wet paint. For the most part, I did get over in it, but let's do a little dry brushing here. Now I'll have to be careful because that green is already into that little area right there. If I go very much into that with very much water, then it's going to pull that green in, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to keep away from that side over there. And usually underneath something that sticks out, like this little bay window, you're going to have some shadow. I don't want to do too much to this little gal. I think she looks pretty good. I'm still not real happy with that. I think I need a little variation right here. See, something's going on. I'm just about to call this done. These steps maybe could use a little bit. Just a little suggestion. The ink is going to be pretty important. Now, if I put too much on here, it's going to run into that kind of gold color that I put in there, which is okay. You know, you can have it run into there. Rocks are kind of nondescript. The edges are not real, especially like stones close to a cottage. I made this just a little bit darker than I wanted, so I just went in there and wetted the area with some clean water and lifted that out. This is probably a dark area right in here, and maybe right in here, where get that door to stick out just a little bit. She needs to be a little more three-dimensional. So to do that, I'm going to put a shadow behind it, and that's a good thing for purple. You don't want to use black or too much gray. Purple is a great shadow color. Okay, I think I'm overworking here, so I really need to stop. Hard to do. I like the contrast. I like pale colored watercolors, but you really need some darks and lights. That's what makes your paintings look good. And I don't really want to fill these windows in with ink, so I'm going to do just a little bit, make those window openings look a little darker. And I like this little stone up here on top, so I'm going to paint it purple. Get a little bit under there. Now I know I'm overworking it because I'm starting to not like what I put in. So I'm going to stop there. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to stop. You see one more thing that could use a brush stroke, and then all of a sudden you got too many brush strokes. So I'm going to add one more little bit of yellow just to brighten it up just a little bit. Some areas anyway. Yes, I like that. Okay. We're going to call that finished, and then I'll come back with some ink in a few minutes.